Hello and welcome to the first regional round of Nation versus Nation. NvN is a team-based, objective-focused arena-style tournament in the same vein as something like Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six. Our teams for this event will be from a Pacific region covering Korea, China, Australia, New Zealand, and of course the United States. My name is Afraid, and I will be your master of ceremonies for the English live stream. This will also be simulcast in Korean on the official NvN Twitch channel and in Mandarin Chinese over at Bilibili. I'm joined here today by the one and only Cringe OCE. How you doing, mate?
Yes, good. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to a great day.
It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. I love this. I love this very unique take on Tarkov eSports. The fact that it's not your usual go and get kills to earn points or go and collect this objective to add a few points and things like that via the API. This is very much a arena style, a unique take on how we will be able to do tournaments within Tarkov in the future. So this is the regional round. What are we expecting to see today, Cringy?
Look, I'm expecting some big games today. America versus America today. Some very talented players on either team, and I'm interested to see maybe some interesting strategies coming from the teams today, not just some straight up chattiness.
We've definitely seen that with the previous run of the NvN, where the teams found it didn't just come down to your mechanical skill, because all these players are very, very talented. They're all coming in here well geared. They all have their elite skills. We know that on a live server they could go in and they could clean up together. But this time we are pitting them up against teams that are at the same caliber, right? They know that they're not just going to be able to go in and win through grit of teeth and sheer mechanical skill. They're going to have to pull out all of their tactics and strategies and really come together as a team to try and win this tournament, right? But obviously, we're starting off with the regional run of the two US teams today, and I believe later on we are hoping to. I guess, be able to show how all of these regional rounds will focus into the semi-final, which will be on next week, followed up by the grand final on the Sunday. We will have Twitch drops enabled for the semi-final and the grand final. So unfortunately, no Twitch drops today, but you will get to see some of the teams that will be going through to next weekend, and we will definitely have Twitch drops enabled for that. So I hear that we're getting to the point of the wipe where the Twitch drops can actually be a little bit spicy, a little bit more useful. So don't expect to see only bandages and splints and things like that. We will hopefully get a couple of nice guns, maybe some armor. I've got a bit of a wish list of things that I'd like to see out of that, given that I'll definitely be lurking the stream at the same time with my auto claim running, although I'm not saying that too loudly because I believe it might be against Twitch TOS.
But okay. I won't snitch. It's all good. You're safe with me.
Perfect. And I expect everyone in chat to keep the secret as well. But really excited to see what next weekend has to hold for us. But of course, we cannot have next weekend with these regional qualifying events. So we will, of course, be seeing the two USA teams duking it out first up for us today. I do unfortunately have to say that the Korean teams will not be playing today due to a disqualification, meaning that Team Golden Tooth will be going through to the semi-finals. Cringy, are you able to take us through the rules for today?
Absolutely. So today we will be playing on the lab, which is very exciting. Only one sniper per team. You have with a magnified scope. Everybody else is restricted to a 1x optic. You're allowed to have one stim per and 4 throwable grenades per player as well. There will be no 338 ammo, so no Mark 18 or AXMC, no KS-23s, making them kneecaps nice and safe, no grenade launchers, no impact grenades, and no enhanced gear.
So very, very typical rules for this type of tournament, right? We like to try and keep it as a fairly even playing field. Very interesting that they can only have a single sniper rifle per team, meaning everyone else will be relegated to a reflex sight, and obviously that means 1x only. So you really need to be thinking about where do you play that player, the person that has a little bit more range. With all of our play styles here, including labs, right? The ability to be able to reach out beyond that sort of 50 to 100 meter mark becomes a big game changer. If you can get your sniper rifle player into a tactical position early, they can really make or break the strategy for each of those teams. So I know we saw that in the scrims where, we would get to the point where a lot of players would rush into the middle. We'd see a big gunfight at the start. People would fall back. They would start repacking mags, healing up and things like that. And then those sniper rifle players really came into play. They were holding the perimeter. They were able to try and get picks and really set up their team for success when it came to winning each individual round. So I know that sniper rifle player, when we did this previously, Cringy, that was one of your strengths, and I imagine you probably felt like you had the weight of the world on you in that role, right?
Yeah, look, the sniper role is kind of tough because if the sniper player has a very successful raid, it can really be the difference in a win or a loss. If that sniper is able to sit back or even hold the objective from like a long angle and get a couple of picks early on so that the rest of your team can push in with the close range, it really can make a massive difference.
That's right, and we've certainly seen that, with a lot of the early strats, I like to break it down into sort of 2K. You've got the people that do the really early aggressive push in, or they tend to go the other way and they run a little bit more of a timing based offensive, and that sniper player really plays a big role in that. So we're now seeing the way that the ladder structure will work. So in the first round, which we will be seeing today and tomorrow, we will have the Nest and expensive healthcare, both opting for the opportunity to represent the US in this Nation versus Nation Pacific League event. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, Team Dev representing Korea have been disqualified for breaching tournament rules, therefore offering a free pass into the semi-final for Team Golden Tooth. So the winner of today between our two US teams will be going up against Golden Tooth in the semi-finals next Saturday. Tomorrow, however, we will be seeing, Cringy, your region and mine, the Oceanic ANZ region with SEAL Team Panda, Oceanic Sicario team, get out for the opportunity to put their best foot forward as the representatives of the Oceanic region. We will also, I'm excited to say, see a show match between the from our US round today and Team Never Stop from China. Unfortunately, the team from China did have to withdraw due to some unforeseen circumstances, meaning that Team Never Stop will be going through to the semi-final next weekend, going up against the winner of the two Oceanic teams that will be running tomorrow. Again, I absolutely have my eye on Team Never Stop from China. There is a ridiculously good lineup between the two. And then Sunday next week, we will see the grand final and the runner-up crowning positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. So today we will see the Nest made up by Moose, Ryan Burninator, Firebird, and Absent Light. In Team Expensive Healthcare, or as I like to call them, Team 4 Sherpas and Jip, we have team leader Jiplo, supported by Nick, Maquido, Gunador, with two substitutions, Diablo Spawn and Antas. And I hate to be a little bit biased here, but I feel like we can get away with it, that, this is a team of current and ex-Sherpas. So, Cringy, I will be taking a little bit of a bias into this event.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, I also do represent the green team, so expecting very big things from Expensive Healthcare, from all of them besides Jip. He's off the hook as he no longer has the green name. But the others, I'm expecting huge things.
Big things. So we've just seen here Spawn Point A and Spawn Point B. Spawn Point A, of course, being in the stairway underneath parking button. Spawn point B is going to be in the kitchen area outside of red. Both of our teams will be looking to move across to the medical side of the laboratory, and we're just seeing the rotation they will have to do up on the screen here. So they will both be crossing that center section very early on, and we did see some pretty clever plays when we did a lot of the scrims, as well as the previous round of NvN, where some of the teams did what they could to just move across and get over to that medical side very, very quickly so that they could set themselves up for the second half of the round. We did see, particularly from the Korean teams, they were trying to do the early crossover to get those early picks on, and we can see as we pan through here to the cargo data, again, this is going to be the point of the bulk of the fights for the labs round, because the winning criteria for this game mode will be having a player from your team extracting out of that cargo elevator. It doesn't matter if it's the whole team or if it's one person from your team. If you are in that elevator and you can get that extract off, your team will be the victor for that round. Of course, the other thing you can do is take out all players on the opposing team. So there is definitely a mix of different playstyles that we're here today.
I scare you.
Yeah.
As we join both of our teams up here on the feed, they are going through their starting rituals. So of course, remember, they can only use a single stimulator. So that means that if you're running in with an ETG or a Propitol or an SJ6, that is the only one that you can get. So Cringy, why are we seeing people popping off with moonshines and everything else?
Well, yeah, the moonshines in the Super Bowl actually give a bit of a buff. You obviously wouldn't use them in your regular raids because, you know, they're quite expensive. Most people are going to want to use them in their scav case, or they can, you know, sell them on the flea market. But in these offline raids where nobody loses any gear and every single bonus is like, it helps. So you'll see people here drinking moonshines and super waters and rat colas and all sorts of things, trying to get every advantage they can and saving their stim for later on.
Go.
Both of our teams are away. We can see that there is an early cross under managers from Team Expensive Healthcare, obviously prioritizing getting over to the cargo elevator. Remember, you cannot leave from the cargo elevator without hitting that button down in G, down in the basement. So it's not just a matter of getting to it's not a foot race to that elevator. It is about prioritizing which point of interest you want to try and take. And we have seen Ryan Burninator going down to Team Expensive Healthcare. As we jump on board, we can see that we have Jip, of course, in position down outside G. Makito dropping. I don't know if you saw what happened there, Cringy. He just seemed to be
I missed it. It all happened so quickly.
And as we cut back over to the other team, they have they got themselves in position. We have one person, Firebird, down in that metal hallway, obviously listening for any audio around G button, looking to understand where have Team Expensive Healthcare moved to? What are they trying to do? Absent Light in position outside of the cargo elevator, looking to hold them back. Nades out to try and push them back, get that audio. Unfortunately, not the best possible nade here. Firebird, of course, moving across underneath as we cut back over to Team Expensive Healthcare. We can see Nick moving into that sniper position. Cringy, what do you think he's trying to do here?
I think he's sitting up on the level here, holding the long angle, watching the elevator. So, as we all know, you have to activate the elevator from down below. You have to call the elevator to you. So somebody is going to have to cross over his screen there and hit the button to make the elevator arrive and the doors open. So Nick is just playing the long angle here, protecting the elevator to make sure that there's nobody there trying to open it up so that they can get it themselves.
That's it. And we can see he's taking a look down there. He has to know that Absent Light is sitting around the corner there. The fact that they do not have a player in close at cargo elevator, he has seen that one of their players has gone down. So he does have that information as he's moved into a CQB, pulling the nade out to try and get Absent Light to give that audio away so that hopefully he can push that left-hand swing. And we see the shots there. He is able to make it stick. And with the very slight delay that we have in the stream here, we will see Absent swinging around, going down to the foul, the M61 of Nick.
The juice cannon strikes again.
that juice cannon really is so strong. The time to kill on it, Cringy, is just amazing.
He's on me.
And unfortunately for the Nest here, moving into a 3v1 situation. So it's going to be hard on Firebird here. And he falls over. Unlucky. Well played by Expensive Healthcare there.
Very well played as they secure that top area. Very much appreciate the drip that some of our players have landed. We can see that there is a meta emerging. We've got that Slick, that Hex, the Class 6 armor, but also the Bastion, with the slat plate on top. We're seeing that from a lot of our.
Yeah, it's a really strong helmet. It's going to bounce a couple of rounds. You know, you want to protect that noggin.
Why do they keep sitting it?
And no, definitely the right play on the Bastion, I think. And let's be real, Afraid you and I both know that drip is the most important thing.
Exactly right. And wow, what a round, straight up. You know, you do wonder, with the fact that there is the opportunity to push the objectives, to hit the button, to take the elevator, that our team straight off the rip decided that they were going to do the push across. They prioritized securing both of those spots, knowing that it meant that they were going to have to fight their way through it. And that really paid off well for Team Expensive Healthcare. Do you think that the opposing team could have done anything different there? They kind of set themselves up. Did Team Nest?
Look, they could have played it maybe a little bit slower and tried to just wait off and get a few picks. But you know, hindsight, it is what it is. You know, you can't say that you made the wrong decision until the wrong decisions happened. So yeah, there's some things that they may change going into the next round. They may change. You know, they might play it a bit slower, maybe hold some angles. You got to remember that they can't activate that elevator for 7 minutes. So you don't have to exactly get over there straight away. You can slow it down, take your time, clear your corners, and then activate the elevator a bit later on instead of just rushing over there. Or they may also know now that Team Expensive Healthcare are going to play hyper aggressive, and they may try to use that against them also.
And we certainly heard that in the earlier pep talk. You know, Jip, the team leader of Team Expensive Healthcare, really did prioritize the fact that they know that they have been scrimming flat out on the Labs game mode. They knew that they had a competitive edge if they played aggressively. But that being said, the Nest now know that they're going to be coming out of the gate swinging, which means that they can adapt their play style. They can allow Team Expensive Healthcare to play into their hands. You know, if they do prioritize some of those longer angles or being out of position or prioritizing those right-hand swings, they know that they should be able to get the upper hand here. So while this was very much in the favor of Team Expensive Healthcare, we will definitely see the Nest learning from this and changing up how they play round 2.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the great things about this particular game style. You know, our teams have been scrimming against each other. There have been other teams that have come in and they've shown some of their strategies. And we did see that just because you lose the first round, we have seen people go from a loss into a 3-round win. And of course, this being a 4-round set, so it is the best of 4 through, there is time to modify the way that you play, the callouts that you use, and where you land each of your players. So again, Labs for me is probably my weakest map, I will say, for any of these game styles. You know, Reserve is a new one, but I did see some of the scrims and it was very much more technical, much slower playing, I think. You know, we did see the use of a lot of windows and things like that, but Labs kind of has a bit of a standard Labs PvP feel. So in your position as a sniper player, would you be looking to defend or attack in this game mode style, Cringy?
We played Labs last year in NvN and I was the team sniper and I always chose the defensive role. The only time I kind of got a bit aggressive with the sniper is off the spawns. I would always go for a pick straight through the middle. Because if you can pick off one of their main players as they're trying to cross over to the medical side, that is a massive advantage, like within the first 30 seconds of the raid. You're instantly up 4v3, one of their players is down, and the moment you start losing players, the team kind of sinks a little bit. You're not feeling as confident, you're starting to double think, you're questioning yourself. And once that leak opens, starts to sink ships. So usually play the defensive angle, watch the doors, watch the button, stuff like that. And yeah, just try to get that early pick. I know I keep harping on about it, but it really does make a difference.
And that is the thing that is very much unique to this game mode style. The way that the NvN tournament is run is much like you do in Game Strike, right? The moment you are down a single player, that is such a handicap compared to what the other team has, because when you're putting these strategies together, you're not putting them together for 2 players or 3 players, you're putting them together for 4 players. So one of the other things that I found very, very interesting in that first round is both of our teams actually ran a 2-2 split. So they had 2 people running over towards cargo elevator to either hold it or assault it, and they had 2 dropping down into the basement to try and secure that cargo elevator. Very, very interesting style, given that they must know now going in that the team expensive healthcare will be playing aggressively. Do you think we'll see a shift from the 2v2 style to an all 4 moving together to secure those objectives, Cringy?
I'm not sure. It depends on what they've practiced during scrims and how they feel confident. They may have tried the 2-2 split and that's what's worked best for them. They may not work together as a close-knit group. If you're all close together, that you have that chance of TKs and bumping off each other and just getting in the way. So sometimes the split will work, but also if you play as a tight-knit group, you can play the trade. You don't want to give the enemy team or enemy players the opposition the chance to back out and start healing up the damage that you may have put onto them in the initial fight. If they can back away and they can put some legs and some arms back on or heal that thorax, they're back in the fight. If you can punish them when they're half health, that's an easy kill for you.
Exactly right. So all I'm hearing is that if I ever do a tournament like this, I'm definitely baiting my teammates.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yep.
No, but I think we wouldn't get away with that at all with this particular game style. So as we get ready to load into round 2 of this US versus US, Team The Nest versus Team Expensive Healthcare, we are seeing our players get into position for the start of the round.
And we're off.
Now, both of these teams have swapped over the spawn points. We can see Team Expensive Healthcare moving over to the underneath parking button in that stairwell. We have our Team The Nest moving over to that kitchen spawn, and we of course have our NvN observers that have also loaded into these players. We're going through, making sure that all the doors are set up correctly, that the game mode is how it should be, and then they will be running off and disconnecting and allowing our players to juke it out. Now, these games, of course, Cringy, are run on offline co-op servers. We have a go time of, I believe, 27 minutes remaining on the counter. So at that point, our teams know that they are released and they can rush out of their spawns and put their tactics into play. As we see, they're all pulling out they're pulling out those moonshines and those super waters and chugging away.
It is incredibly strange to see a bunch of blokes sucking down a moonshine before a raid. You don't see that very often, do you?
Absolutely right. Because I mean, I think moonshine it only really knocks out your attention skill, which really only impacts search, right? And they don't really care about that.
No, there won't be any looting, so it doesn't really affect them at all.
Went through the doors, right?
Yeah, I go that way. I like going that way.
And we can hear them right now having a bit of a chat. They're talking about their strategies. We can hear that they're looking at changing it up a little bit. And just have a look at that. We can see a Max Energy, a Hot Rod, a Milk, a Rat Cola, a Juice, a Super Water. Now, we can also see up on Firebird's screen that they do have not only the S there, they also have 2 of the morphines. Now, morphines do count towards the one emulator because it is only a painkiller effect, Cringy. So I can see why that might be an advantage over something like the Vaseline or the Golden Star.
I did notice before actually that Absent Lights is running the injector case in his rig full of morphines, so he has them quick painkillers on hand when he needs them.
For him to repeat the haul.
And that being said, with these offline matches, when you do go down, you actually spawn back out with all of your gear, so you can get away with running things in your rig that perhaps you wouldn't do in an online raid or even a private server tournament. Really opens up those options.
Absolutely.
Now, we can see here that the Team Expensive Healthcare were running into the wall beforehand. Why do they do that, Cringy?
Just getting them legs moving, getting the inertia ready. You know, it takes a split second for your PMC to start going. If you're already running and that door flings open, you're moving. You're at full speed and you're absolutely zooming. And in a map like the labs in this game mode, every second counts.
One dead.
It does, and straight away we can see Jip taking out a player on the cross, prioritizing getting underneath the manager's office there. That was Ryan Berninator who went down just there. We are watching Firebird in set on the left-hand side. Mikito and Gunador have taken the cargo elevator. Again, we straight away, Cringy, we've seen them change up their strategy where rather than doing a 2-2 split, they prioritize taking that cargo elevator, knowing that they can get there a little bit quicker.
Yeah, then it's the main objective. Like, as much as we all want to see some PvP, sometimes playing the objective is the way to win.
The stairs behind us.
And we've just seen Firebird go down as well. 2 players remaining on Team The Nest. All 4 players for Team Expensive Healthcare are still
not looking
up
good
and
for the
in
Nest
the fight.
here.
No, it is not, Cringy. No, it is not.
He's U-Haul for start. Black is clear. I killed the guy.
Interesting
black.
to see Jip and Nick have moved out now. They're, you know, we've got Nick in upper server. We have Jip moving through blue
Nick,
tents.
we're gonna swing top green at the same time. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Solid calls there from Jip, the in-game lead for Team Expensive Healthcare. You can see they are clearing out.
Yep, 3 dead. Right side.
Jip's a very experienced player. You definitely want to listen to Jip on when it comes to Tarkov and PvP especially.
Absolutely, and on labs as well. If you think you know a spot to hold, you can guarantee that Jip and Team Expensive Healthcare will know the calls. And really, really solid call-outs. They had the audio. They knew that he was sitting in there. And I think that brings us to the end. We have all 4 players from the Nest going down.
Me practicing that hip
Team
fire
Expensive
spray on Gunner
Healthcare.
worked.
Jip Lol picking up the 3 kills there. And well played once again by Expensive Healthcare, showing there exactly what I was talking about earlier with playing the trade. Jip and Nick swinging at the same time. Jip unfortunately goes down, but puts some damage into the player, and Nick is just able to finish it up nice and easy.
We just practiced it, and I was like, I'm going to pre-fire this anyway.
You can hear Jip talking about using all of the practice that they have been doing in the week leading up to this event. And it paid off for them. You know, he said that. He goes, we just practiced pushing that room and the holding points. Like I said, Jip has thousands of raids on labs. So the fact that the bans allowed them to play labs between the 2 US teams, I don't think Team The Nest knew what they were in for, Cringy.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure what the Nest strategy was coming into today's games, but I know for a fact that if I was, running a team this season, I would be doing everything to keep Expensive Healthcare off labs.
It definitely sounds like a sound strategy. For those following along at home, there are, of course, 3 game modes. Mode 1 is at Customs. Mode 2 is what we're seeing here today on Labs. And Mode 3 is a brand new mode for NvN, which actually takes us all the way over to the reserve military base. So before any of these rounds, our teams have the option of banning a particular game style. So you can go in there and you can say, I really don't want to play customs today, or I really don't want to go to the lab. And that means that game mode will be off the table and you will not be playing it. However, it also means that the opposing team can ban the game mode that you want to play. So what we've seen today is someone has banned customs, someone has banned reserve, and that has brought us to game mode 2 on the lab and into, let's be fair, Expensive Healthcare's playground.
Yeah, I can. I assume Jip and the team over at Expensive Healthcare, when they found out they'll be on the lab today, would have been sitting there, just rubbing their hands together with excitement, because I know they've probably put hundreds of practice raids in to labs just for this game mode. So they would have been very calm, cool, and collected, getting ready to go into this today.
And they definitely have been putting the hours in. Of course, Team Expensive Healthcare are the Sherpas, and I did see their inactivity notices coming in a week or two ago once they knew that they would be here competing in NvN, and they said that they're like, we're taking some time off from helping new players, from teaching PvP, from teaching the health system, just so that we can be prepared to bring our A game to Nation versus Nation. And we will be going over to a break at the halfway mark of set 1 of NvN. Go grab a drink, and we will see you back here shortly. Hello and welcome back to the US rounds, the regional rounds of Nation versus Nation. We have just watched the two teams from the US, Team The Nest and Team Expensive Healthcare, duking it out in game mode 2 on the laboratory, with Team Expensive Healthcare taking straight sets. Now, that was we thought that they might play the objective, but no, Team Expensive Healthcare just went straight for the PvP. They were crossing the middle. They were really taking and owning the entire map. Did you really expect anything else from them though, Cringy?
No, not from Team Expensive Healthcare, really. Jip is a absolute this shift W demon. All he wants to do is push the fights, push the audio. He doesn't want to give you a chance. He doesn't want you to find your footing. He wants you to be under the pump from the moment that he's seen it last round. He came straight out of his spawn, went underneath, and he ran straight towards them. And he listened out, and he heard them coming, and he got that early pick, which is, as I mentioned earlier, once you lose one team member, you'd start second-guessing yourself. And it just fell apart from there, unfortunately, for Team The Nest.
Absolutely, but it does mean that the players in Team The Nest now know that they're going to get those aggressive plays. So they have the opportunity to slow it down a little bit. They still have 2 rounds to get it into that that tiebreaker. You know, they might be down, but they're definitely not out. They know that they cannot do the early rush across. But this isn't like online servers, right? You know where the other team are going to be spawning from. You know where they're going to be. You know the rotations that they can take out of that. If you were in this position, Cringy, would you slow it right down? Would you take a different approach? How would you actually play it if you were in Team The Nest?
Yeah, I'd slow it right down at this point. The more aggressive way has not worked for 2 rounds now. They really need to slow it down because it's all or nothing now. If they go down here, their tournament's over. They're out in straight sets. You need to change it up drastically. You need to take your time and just really slow it down. They have that 7 minutes before the elevator can even go active. You don't need to get into the fight straight away. I understand when you're in a tournament, sometimes, you know, you want to put on your best show. You want to entertain everybody and really show off. But at the end of the day, you are here to win. And if that means slowing it down, going for the picks, listening for some audio, and just them, by Team Expensive Healthcare playing aggressive, it opens up so many opportunities for you to punish them. They're running around, they're stomping, they're jumping from staircase to staircase. You're gonna hear them. You're not gonna know where they are, and you're gonna be able to open yourself up for that easy pick. So, if I'm the Nest here, I 1000% slow it down and honestly try to take Jip out. Would be my play.
Absolutely. And of course, for those that are following along at home, our teams are fighting for a position in the semi-final next week, where they will be going up against Team Golden Tooth of Korea. Of course, all of our teams are going to be battling it out for the opportunity to take home some of our prize pool, which I'm led to believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cringy, is $10,000 US. $10,000 US. So I don't know what that is in euros, but I can say in Australian dollars, it's got to be pushing close to $15,000. And I don't know about you, but I would jump at the opportunity to walk away with that kind of money.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of $1,000 to play in a couple of days of Tarkov. Sign me up.
Stop it. You're gonna get me in trouble.
You need to, like, make sure you
I will say I'm absolutely loving the approach that BSG have been taking to these Tarkov tournaments now. We're seeing real prize money, real opportunities for people to get together, put together teams, enter these events, because it is absolutely worthwhile when you are looking at taking back such a big cash split. So again, if you're in the crowd, if you have been thinking about trying your hand as a competitor in competitive Escape from Tarkov or Tarkov Arena, when in TM, definitely, you know, get your mates around, find the people that you gel with, that you work well with in raid, and think about how you guys can pull together that competitive team, because this could be you in the future. I don't know, you, Cringy, what are you thinking? Are you looking forward to Arena coming out and pulling together a team that can potentially take home some prize money in future?
I think there will be a lot of Arena coming my way when it releases, and watching these 4v4s today on the smaller play area, it's really got me excited for Arena. The possibilities are endless, and could be a lot of fun to be had across really for all the enjoyers of Tarkov.
Absolutely, and we're seeing straight off the bat a 4-man push across the middle from Team Expensive Healthcare.
So aggressive.
They're prioritizing holding that cargo elevator. So this is 3 rounds, 3 different strategies from Team Expensive Healthcare. We saw the 2-2 split in round 1. We saw the prioritization of cargo elevator from spawn B. And now from spawn A, we can see that all 4 players from Team Expensive Healthcare have prioritized taking cargo elevator. The inset from Team Nest showing that they have decided to go the other way. They are in the basement right now.
Yeah.
Firebird moving slowly through the metal hallway. Do you think we're going to see each team holding an objective here, Cringe? Is that what it's looking like?
I think so. It looks like that Team Nest may go for the button hold here, while Team Expensive Healthcare have gone for the elevator hold. But, you know, there's no point having one without the other. Can't press the button, because all that's going to do is open up the elevator for Team Expensive Healthcare. But Team Expensive Healthcare can't take the elevator without the button,
Try to
so
hold that door.
eventually they're going to have to bump into each other and try to
They
make
should
something
not be able
happen
to
here,
get to this
but
door 'cause we have the hallway covered.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
right
Just
now
gonna-
we can see
I'm
Absent
crab
Light,
walking up to
Ryan
these guys
Burninator,
right now.
both holding that boiler
yes, we
room,
have both
holding
green,
that Sector G button.
side and
We can
blue
see
side covered,
Moose
both
at the
entrances.
blue stairs. Now remember, Jip is through that door
Please.
and up the stairs. They are within meters of each other,
I'd
Cringy.
like to support
And then we have
Firebird
Firebird
for
over
killing
at
this
Sector
room while on
O,
Absent.
holding the
I'll do
drop
my
down
best.
position and
Alright,
also
I'll just
listening
hold
for
the right
audio
hand.
down that metal hallway.
Another thing to take into mind is that Team Expensive Healthcare already have the 2 wins. They may play for the draw here. They don't actually need to get the win here. Because they're already up 2-0. It's best of 4. I'm not sure how the points system works for a draw, but if they get any points here, it's game over. So
in the
they may not
corner
actually
at
even
the
try to
door.
play for the elevator here. They may just hold it out. Everything is on the Nest, and nothing is on Team Healthcare right now. So it's really on the Nest to make the play here.
Yeah.
Exactly
Plus,
right, and they're
doors
well
you can
positioned.
cut
They
the
know
hallway
that at some
covered.
point they will need to rotate out. But that being said, we have just seen on the inset that Mick has moved around with that long-range sniper rifle, and he is currently holding in dark offices, looking across the top, getting ready to counter any aggression from the Nest. So remember, they know that they can hold that button right to the very end, which means that they have the opportunity to rotate out, try and secure that elevator, knowing that they will have someone down in the basement that can hit that button and allow someone to extract.
Tap as
Now,
fast as you
again,
can.
you only need to have one player to extract at that cargo elevator to secure the round win.
Absolutely, and it
Shit's
looks
like a
here.
jump
If
line
I'm
for me.
if I'm seeing it correctly, they're gonna have to press the button and they're gonna have to come up those stairs, which means they are going to run straight into Jip with a juice cannon. He has a big 50 rounder in that thing, and he is going to let M62 or M61, whatever he's got in his hands on, he is going to absolutely let it fly through that doorway. So if
Definitely,
they
and-
press the button here, they're going to have to try to get through Jip or come back upstairs and get
What?
past
Be
Nick.
3.5, right?
But the moment that elevator's active, Gunner is going to run straight out of this medical room, hit that button, and he's going to wait for that up. So
Was
it's
it?
going to be really tough. It's really tough on the Nest here. Healthcare just has it locked down, unfortunately.
And that's exactly right. The Nest, while they are sitting pretty right now, they did previous round that Expensive Healthcare did send 2 of their players roaming and looking for those picks. So the Nest know that if they hold out and they can catch those 2 players unawares with their 4-person stack holding each of the
All is well,
approaches,
man.
that they can then have the opportunity to push up the cargo elevator, secure it, and then hit Sector G and take the win for the round. Now, that being said, they cannot afford to do this for the entire round, Cringy. They're watching that timer. We can see that Gunner is hitting his oak. He is watching that timer because he knows that there is a point that the Nest are going to have to make a play. They are going to need to push the fight. They cannot afford to run the timer all the way down.
Yeah, exactly right. They're making this harder on themselves. Personally, if I was the Nest
Black
here,
stairs?
I don't think you can just hold the button. You have to try to clear it first. They must know that by the fact that there's nobody from Team Expensive Healthcare down there with them at the button, that they must be holding that elevator. So that makes the button becomes useless if you elevator. So the Nest are going to have to make a play here very, very soon, or unfortunately they're going to lose themselves out just to the time.
And they can't afford to do that. You know, Expensive Healthcare are up 2-0 at the moment. So a draw for them or a loss for them is a loss, and they are out. They will not have the opportunity to come back next week for the semi-final up against Team Golden Tooth from Korea. They cannot afford to sit here because not only can the button be hit after the 7-minute mark, they only have 10 minutes in total for the round to make a play. If they are still sitting and waiting at that 10-minute mark, they are out of this tournament. They need to make a move, and we can hear them. We can hear them chattering away now. They are coming up with a plan. They know that they need to start using their W keys. They know that they need to try and push this fight with Expensive Healthcare because the onus is on them.
Absolutely. And it'd be such a shame to see them go out just to get PvP'd by the time, basically. They need to get a move on here within the next 30 seconds, I'd say. Because once you press that button, you have to be able to clear all the way up to the elevator in the time that it's going to take Gunner. Press the button, wait for the elevator, and then get inside that elevator. So from the time of them pushing the button downstairs in the basement, they have at maximum 60 seconds before it's round over. So they really need to start making plays now because they don't have the time. They're in a lot of trouble here. A lot of trouble.
You nailed it, Cringy, and we can see up here right now, the objective for this round is to extract at cargo elevator. Now, if they are not able to get up here, if the Nest cannot hit that button, secure cargo elevator, and get out, they are out of this tournament. We can see the bottom left, Nick, the sniper player from Team Expensive Healthcare, is scouting out now. He is looking to find where they are holding. He must know that they have cargo elevator, therefore Team The Nest must be down in the basement, clearing through, checking those back medical officers.
No. Go back. Gunner, play
grouping up with his team. We can see down inset, bottom left-hand side, Team The Nest still opting to hold out here. Again, this is not in their favor. This is a bad decision for Team The Nest. They do need to get out there. They need to push this fight. They need to run the risk of losing a player or two because that is the only way they will stay in this competition.
God, I hope I'm on full auto.
See, and they don't even realize it here, but they didn't have Nick there. So they were 4-3 for that elevator there. But Nick has gotten bored sitting over in the dark office with a sniper. There's no play. There's no action. So he's moved over to the objective. And now they have to press the button, secure the elevator within 60 seconds up against 4 juice cannons. So
this is certainly not a situation I'd like to be in, Cringy. I could not imagine trying to swing into a group as skilled as Team Expensive Healthcare when they're sitting there with those big 308 rounds in the full auto FAL. All wanting to find their way into my head eyes.
14 minutes.
It's honestly, it's almost an impossible push here. Nothing's impossible in Tarkov. You can always make something happen, but trying to take this elevator in the short amount of time that they have against 4 meta juice cannons full of M61s, or they may even have 993 here. Afraid like those slicks that they're wearing aren't gonna hold up against a juice cannon. There's just no way.
Well, that's right, because they essentially have unlimited ammunition because these are offline base raids, meaning their kits will stay in there. We can see Ryan Burninator popping the what do they call it? The hydro, the water, filtered water.
Yeah,
we can see food, the aquamarine. That's the one. Thank you. I had an elderly moment there, but we can see they are popping their stims. We're hopefully about to see something out of Team The Nest.
No, we only gotta get one of us in the cargo elevator, right?
Mm-hmm.
The longer they hold out here, the worse it gets for them, I believe. They need it. Personally, if this was me, I would have already sent 3 of my teammates off and start trying to clear that upper level. You need to get the picks. But
or blue stairs.
At the same time,
is it blue stairs?
Expensive Healthcare know they need the picks. They're not peeking. Like, look at them.
Expensive down here.
Maquito, it was just sitting there in the stairs, in his stash, just admiring all his ammo and meds that he's brought with him.
Exactly.
Gunner hasn't moved in 8 minutes, 9 minutes. He's just been sitting in the exact same spot watching that elevator. Nick was out there sniping. He's gotten bored. He's now holding a different angle. And Jip, I'm pretty sure Jip's sitting on those stairs playing Valorant.
And this is the case often with these elimination style tournaments when you do have, again, Cringy, prize pool, $10,000 US. This is some game-changing money for these teams. And the fact that we saw such aggressive plays from Expensive Healthcare early on, they ran the risk. They knew if they W-keyed that they had the opportunity to get up 2-0, and they've done that. We've realized the outcome of that play style. But again, cannot get my head around the playstyle being adopted by the Nest here. The fact that they are opting to hold that elevator, not realizing or seeming to not realize that if they take the draw here, they are out. They are done, which means that going into the 4th round of this set, Expensive Healthcare will have the opportunity to just run them down, right? Because they have nothing to lose at that point.
My vision, bro. I got fucking 3
Absolutely.
last round.
I'm a little surprised by the Nest here. I know I said they should slow it down, but
if you get 4 to spray down.
I don't think I think this has gone too far of slowing it down, unfortunately. But it looks like we're going to get some action here. They're getting ready to move. They're running out of time.
That's right, Cringy. We've just heard Moose call a push up blue stairs, which is where Jip is waiting for them.
We have
with that 50 rounds of M61
Until
Yeah,
12.
but the longer we wait, the more they anticipate it. At this point, they might think we're gonna wait for last second to try to do something, or just draw it
I
out.
mean, it sounds like
They really have tried to play
the
the aggressive push from Jip and Nick,
Mind
which is what we saw in the
games
first
this?
2 rounds here.
This is Tarkov.
Yeah. 3 of you go now. I'll push in the button.
swag.
Is Jip in the blue stairs or the green stairs? I think he may be sitting in the green stairs here. Afraid?
Hello.
No, he had to be over at the blue, I believe. Unless he was sitting back a little bit further, allowing Gunador to hold
Did an
across
A
the
play,
top
yeah.
here. We're now seeing that push over towards
Here we
blue
go.
stairs. Burninator, Absent Lights, moves straight in there. Firebird still holding that button, knowing that if they are able to secure that cargo elevator, jumping across the door, trying to get that audio.
Well, we're here. We gotta do the thing.
Don't hit it yet, though.
No, the other elevator button. I go hit main button.
Is that
We have to
Mikito
get very
in?
loud in this hallway.
Go for it, back.
Straight away, Ryan
Oh.
Burninator goes right down, but Mikito goes with him. Nick pushing the stairs. Jip is running across to support his team at cargo elevator. We have Gunador outside the medical officers watching those stairs. All the audio is coming from blue stairs. Absent Light
Moose is
gets
down.
dropped by
Absent Lights is
Jip.
down as well.
We can now
Oh, it's
still
a
see
3v1.
three players. Jip, Nick, Gunador still up for Team Expensive Healthcare. That push up the blue stairs being funneled into that single doorway. Cringy was just not enough. Firebird alone now in the basement,
gonna win
knowing
this
that he
round.
cannot
Hold
hit
on.
that button. What does he do from here,
Hey,
Cringe?
fuck around and find out where he's
There's
at.
only one play he can have here. They've already
Gotta go
activated
for
the button, I believe. So he either pushes out and tries to just get massive swings on these players and take as many out as he can, and maybe get himself into a situation where they have to back off, which will give him an opportunity to get that elevator. But if he doesn't take the play now, they're just going to push. They're going to open up the elevator. They're going to send one of them out while they look for them, and it's going to be GG's. He has to make an aggressive play here, or it's game over.
And we can see already Jip and Nick, two very, very accomplished PvP Labs players, making the play down on Firebird. They know it's 2v1. They know, and he goes down. The aggressive
down.
push from Jip. They hit that button. Gunador ready to hit the button. Extract at cargo. We see him moving in there. All 4 players from Team The Nest are down. They have win. Gunador taking the extract just as a little bit of salt in the wound as they go 3-0 in the 3rd round of the US versus US round of the regional NvN.
Wow.
We saw it there,
Unbelievable
Cringy.
performance from Team
We saw
Healthcare
it.
there.
Absolutely. And this is what can happen, right? You know, you have that really aggressive playstyle that we saw from Team Expensive Healthcare in the first 2 rounds where they really set themselves up. They knew that their strength was mechanical PvP skill. They got the early cross, they took out players, they were able to then go through and mop up what remained of Team The Nest. Again, 3rd round, they knew going in it was their match to lose at that point. So they made the right play. They took cargo elevator. That is the final objective, to get out. The Team The Nest, obviously going down to where Sector G is, the button is. They knew that if they wanted to get out and make this a clean sweep, that really quick and a run and done round, that they would have to send 2 of their floaters. And we saw that from Jip and Nick later in the round. They knew that they were going to end up in a 2v4 situation if they played it out. So we did. We saw that. They held their corners, they held their angles, but that timer waits for no one, Cringe. And ultimately, they had to make a play. And that's what we saw.
Yeah. And it was always just going to be rough for them. The longer they waited, the more in place that Team Expensive Healthcare got. They knew they had to come from that elevator. They're already up 2-0. A draw makes them win. A win makes them win. The only way that the Nest can win here is to take out Team Expensive Healthcare. And they just played, they had the 300 IQ play. May not be the most entertaining play, but it was, at the end of the day, you're here for a win. They held down that elevator. It was game over, unfortunately. They really needed to make that play sooner.
Exactly. And, you know, if you get knocked out in the regional round, then that's it. It's over for you. Your dream journey is done. You will not be part of the NvN prize pool. And unfortunately for the Nest, it means that they will be taking the loss. And we will see Team Expensive Healthcare, 4 Sherpas and Jip, will be going through to the semi-final up against Team Golden from Korea. Again, I think that will be a much tougher round for them next week. And again,
Absolutely.
we will have for the semi-final and the grand final of the NvN tournament, we will have drops on. All channels that will be broadcasting the NvN tournament will have drops enabled. That includes Spicy Bush with the English stream. There will be the NvN eSports channel that will be broadcasting the Korean simulcast. And there will be a channel over on Bilibili that will be doing the Mandarin Chinese. So again, if you want to see that, if you want to be here for those drops, make sure to hit that follow button below. Follows are free; they cost you nothing. We'd love to have you here, and I've been trying to oil up my contacts at BSG to make sure that the drops next week will be extra spicy, cringy. Like I said, there will not be Saliwas in these drops. I want to see some kits. I want to see some nice armor, maybe a little bit of ammo. Do you reckon we could push that cringy? I don't know what you'd like to see in your drops.
I wouldn't mind a bit of ammo. I'm a bit of an ammo hoarder myself. You know, the bullets are what matter in Tarkov, not the guns. So. Everyone loves some drops, so we'll just have to wait and see what we can get.
Exactly, and
hopefully the people over at BSG are listening and want to, a bit of juice for us.
We'll make sure to, like I said, we'll grease the right palms, bribe the right people, maybe give a bit of a cheeky wink here and there, but we'll make sure that we land some nice drops for next weekend. But again, like you mentioned, about the ammo. Doesn't matter what your gun is, if you're running the right ammo, it doesn't matter what armor you're wearing. And we've seen that already with the PvP that has been unfolding here today. You know, we have everyone running class 6, we have everyone is in those Bastion slap-plated helmets, but they're still going down. The time to kill is still ridiculously quick. And what do you think about the loadouts that they're running? Is this what you would run yourself, Cringy?
Yeah, absolutely. The Juice Cannon with an MP7 sidearm was my favorite thing to run last season during the NvN. You don't want to get gun tucked on the Juice Cannon. You don't want that gun going up in the air and start shooting off lights. You want to be shredding people, and M61 in that Juice Cannon does not care if you're wearing a slick or a packer. It is going to cut you like a hot knife through butter and send you back to the lobby. And it's been crystal clear today. The boys over at Expensive Healthcare running the M61 in the Juice Cannon and is putting away people like it's nothing.
That's it. You don't really appreciate how ineffective 7.62x39 BP can be until you're running up against the 4-man that are running all class 6, that are armed to the teeth with those juice cannons and snipers. Absolutely. And those really hot 308 rounds, because the difference here of the 4th or 5th shot that it takes to take down a player that's wearing class 6, mate, that is all the time in the world for them to react to you, turn, and drop you with an M61 or an M993. So the fact that we saw Team The Nest feeding themselves through that door blue stairs, it was never going to go well. As we now cut over to our players, they have deployed for the fourth round, fourth and final round. We go in here 3-0 in favor of Expensive Healthcare. I think we're going to see a very aggressive play from the team here, because they know that they can go through and just clear out the nest.
I think, honestly, we're going to see very, very aggressive plays from both teams here. Unfortunately, the winner has already been decided. Expensive Healthcare up 3-0. This round is just for fun and for some laughs, really. So I'm expecting a lot of aggressive PvP here. This one may be over in the first 60 seconds, I think, Afraid.
I think you might be right there, and I'm putting it out into the universe. Chip, if you can hear me telepathically, I want to see some jump shots, mate. I want to see some jump shots. I know you've got it in you. Let's make it happen. Let's put on a show for the boys.
I'm not sure about the jump shot here, but I was going to say that I want to see the old nose scope from Nick with the DVL. But if I'm seeing, oh no, he's picked it back up. It was just on the ground. So that's what I want to see. I want to see a nice, clean nose scope from Nick here. I want to be brought back to the 2007 Call of Duty montage days. Let's get some nose scopes happening from Nick, I think.
The slow motions, the 360s, the music dubs over the top.
Absolutely.
I'm about it. I'm about it, mate. I like it.
You must remember them fondly, Afraid. You were like 45 when they released, correct?
Look, I wasn't too far off. Let me just say that I was drinking age, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Of course, we have in Spawn B underneath the parking stairs, Team Expensive Healthcare. They have taken the dub in the first of our regional rounds over the Nest. They will be going through to the semi-final against Team Golden Tooth from Korea
Now.
as they charge out of their spawn.
You're not going to want to miss next week, that's for sure. Golden Truth versus Expensive Healthcare is going to be something to watch, let me tell you.
That will be a show and a half, my friend. A show and a half. Look at this. We got Makido and we have Gunner prioritizing Cargo. Jip and Nick, our rotating PvP players that we've seen every time so far, swinging across.
They're all 4 top green.
We hear the call from Jip, the in-game lead, all 4 top green, straight for the PvP. They do not care. They want the fight. They want the win. They know that they've got it. It is in the bag, Cringy.
Absolutely.
One dead.
Oh, Gunner's gone down here.
We're seeing much more scrim-style gameplay, that initial push
Is there one by you?
hard out of the gate. Gunner going down.
Yes, there's one.
Oh, Maquito down as well.
I'm creeping up 10.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill this guy by Nick.
No, Makido is still up right now.
Never mind.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate, again, everyone, let's say captured in 4K. We see a Jip crab walking around through the blue stairs.
Copy.
Team Nest have held Cargo. I don't know if this is going to work for them. They're already down 3-1. Sorry, 3-0 rather. But maybe they can try and reclaim some of their honor and take out the 4th and final round.
I'd like to see him get a point on the board here, Afraid. I really would. Nobody wants to go down 4-0. Hoping to see the Nest get on the board here and end the day with a win.
Any shot?
Ryan with the fake, taking a shot to the stomach, heavy bleed, shots back off, running, I assume 995 or 55A1, either way, a 556 HK. Giving me real 12-11 vibes there, Cringy.
I don't know.
Oh, bring me back.
Make
the PKO 6 great again.
Pull a nade, make him try to push.
Jip doing a bit of looting.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a strategy, grabbing
some
the
extra
nades.
nades. Of course.
I understand that.
The players
Ryan,
are limited to 4 nades,
down.
of course, but
They
you
are
are able to pick them up off the other players.
Certainly can. We just saw Ryan Berninator go down to Gunador. Makido being dropped. We're hearing that the trade did happen as Moose also goes down. Nick, Jip, our 2 rotating PvP players.
Ah, you should have had that sausage.
We see some DVL overhand from Nick. Jip doing the flex outside of the cargo elevator.
Is this game over? Have all the Nest...
Everyone from Team The Nest is down, meaning 4-0 in favor of Team Expensive Healthcare. We can see those loading screens, those main menus.
Yeah, he walked right over it.
Nick and Jip doing a few shenanigans right there at the end, dropping each other. Big laugh.
Yeah.
Cringy.
Oh.
The end of our first regional round. I cannot believe a clean sweep from Team Expensive Healthcare, and they made it. It was such solid plays. Yeah, okay. Round 3, playing the strategies a little bit slower, but rounds 1, 2, and 4, they just went through and cleaned everything up. Did you expect anything different from them?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. I was fortunate enough to scrim with Jip a lot last season for the NvN when I was playing, and I don't think he knows how to slow down. I genuinely don't. I think when he was sitting there on those stairs in round 3, he was probably sitting there tapping the leg, I think, because he just constantly on the move. He just doesn't stop moving. And with him being the IGL, that would have been his plan that he would have been trying to get across to the team the whole time. And just flawless execution from Team Healthcare. Did not surprise me in the least. But yeah, just unbelievable scenes, really.
It definitely was, and we can see the difference in the tournament style presented here with NvN, that it isn't your typical PvP style of tournament where you're aiming to loot things or kill people to get those points. It's all about that end game objective, because all it takes is for one person to be in the elevator, one person to set off a flare, one person to set off the grenade launch for our customs mode, and you have won the round, right? We've seen particularly with Team Expensive Healthcare, that they ran that really strong 2-2 split. You had Gunner and Mulkito, who are always holding points. They were the backbone. They were making sure that they had their teeth well and truly sunk into each of the objectives. They were not letting anyone get to that cargo elevator. And then we saw Jip and Nick being the sniper player, that they went on the hunt. They are a very strong duo. They rotated around. They did what they needed to do. They won the fights, and ultimately they secured the victory for Team Expensive Healthcare, meaning that they will continue through into the semi-final next week. A huge day for Expensive Healthcare, and like I said, they have to be absolutely thrilled with how that went. And again, my personal bias is showing here, Cringy. Team 4 Sherpas and Jip, what we wanted to see. But again, we have to say thank you to our players from the Nest for being here today, putting on a show for everyone. And I'm really looking forward to more. So again, we will be back again tomorrow for the second part of the regional lineup. So again, we have Team Expensive Healthcare moving through to the semi-final, where they will go up against Golden Tooth, competing against Korea. That will be from midday Sydney time next Saturday. I will be here casting with Jazza. We will be casting from PAX. So if you're going along to PAX, come and say good day. Tomorrow, however, we will be back for 2 sets. SEAL Team Panda, representing Australia, up against the Oceanic Team Sicario for the opportunity to fight it out in the semi-finals against Team Never Stop from China next Saturday in the regional semi-final. Team Never Stop tomorrow will, however, be doing a show match for us. They will be lined up against, I believe, Team The Nest from the US, and just basically showing, you know, what they can do on the other game modes. I'm wondering if we will see a different game mode, a customs or a reserve. The Nest now know that some of these teams are very well versed on the lab. They may be putting that in for their band. They may be wanting to go off to customs, that, you know, a bit more of an open map with a much clearer objective, and, you know, doesn't really play into the hands of these absolutely wild labs mains. So again, unfortunately, no match for Korea today. Team Dev were disqualified, unfortunately, due to an unforeseen breach of the NvN rules. So that is a free pass to Golden Tooth, who will be going through to the semi-finals. Now, what are you looking forward to in the matchup between Panda and Sicario tomorrow, Cringy?
Oh, look, I think it's going to be very exciting, honestly, seeing the two OCE teams battling against each other. Both teams are full of players that consider themselves quite the Chad player, so there's a couple of egos on the line, possibly, a bit of back and forth, and I think it's just going to be a good day overall. Looking forward to some good, clean games and a bit of action.
Certainly will be, and look, I'm in the group chat for both teams. Both teams have been putting in the hours. They are well practiced. They have their strategies on lock. They have been scrimming. They have some incredibly good players. Like, by all words, they are on another level. I have to say that I've been scared to go into online matches for fear of the fact that I might be loading into the same match as some of these players. So again, really excited to see what they do. But Cringy, takeaways from today, what really made it for you? Like, that was so much happened in those raids.
Just honestly, I'm a little taken back at how well Expensive Healthcare played today. I genuinely am. I was expecting big things from them, but they just seem like they have it dialed down. They have it locked in. They had the Nest number all day. The Nest, there was nothing they could do. So I'm honestly, after seeing how well Team Expensive Healthcare have played today, they may be my favorites going forward. I think we may even see an upset and see a Team USA take out the China and the Korean teams and possibly go all the way here. They're looking very good. Very good.
You've absolutely nailed it there. Like, my favorite always going into this is Team Korea. These are teams that have been not only playing together for literally years at this stage, right? They had to fight it out even to qualify for these regional rounds. So they have been here and they've been fighting to even get to this stage. But the performance that we just saw out of Team Expensive Healthcare, and the fact that they walked away with the dub on all of their scrims leading into this as well. We've seen great cohesive plays between all of the team members. They know what they're doing. Jip, an incredible in-game lead. You heard those calls. You heard the comms. You heard the pep talk at the start. Will I just say, I hope there is a VOD because I want to play that back. It had A10 warthogs. It had call-outs to individual players. Like, he was on point. What an absolute competitor is Jip.
I have not heard a pre-game speech like that since Braveheart. It was inspiring. Made me wish I was out there on the battlefield with him, representing Team Expensive Healthcare. That's how good it was. But yeah, no, just unbelievable. What a great first day.
It really was. And again, we will be back again from midday Sydney time tomorrow to see the matchup between our two OCE teams who will be fighting it out for the opportunity to play in the semi-finals next weekend. And again, reminder, cringy, big money, $10,000 on the line.
Money.
That is the prize pool. That is the prize. I'm kind of wishing that I wasn't casting. I wish I was in there, but then at the same time, if I was in there, I would definitely not be making it past these regional rounds, judging by what we've seen from some of the players today. Like, again, all very, like, just next level players, and we've seen the same thing from the OCE scrim group as well. So if you were a betting man, what game mode do you think we're going to see for our match between OCE's Team Sicario and Team SEAL Team Panda? What a name.
Honestly, if Team SEAL Panda have thought it through, they will not go to labs. So I'm expecting a customs tomorrow, I think. I think Team Sicario will ban reserve, the Panda team will ban labs, and I think I'll be seeing you on customs tomorrow, afraid.
You know what? I would actually agree with that. If if we were doing the sports bet, this would definitely be the favorite for the game mode tomorrow. So again, if you are looking to follow along more of these tournaments next week, we will have Twitch drops on this channel. Make sure, hit that follow button below. Follows are free. Also, jump over to the NvN eSports if you speak Korean or you want to see the excitement of the Korean casters. Like, they are, again, these are part of their team are from GSL. They have the hype absolutely on point. I don't understand a word they're saying, but the energy is just absolutely amazing. We will be back again from midday Sydney time tomorrow to see the matchup between our two OCE teams, as well as the show match between Team The Nest representing the US and Team Never Stop from China. The Nest will be playing. I've just heard confirmation. They will be playing tomorrow. So we will see a show match, which means they are like Team The Nest are out. So if you want to see some PvP, some hard charging PvP, I reckon tomorrow will be the day for it. And then we will be back again next Saturday. And I cannot wait to see you guys there. Cringy, thank you for being here. Thank you, all of our teams, for being part of it and putting on a show. And our viewers at home, thank you so much for being here. And I cannot wait to do this again.